All right, guys, today I'm going to be helping you guys address your quarterback issues. Now, I know that a lot of you have them right now. I have them right now. There have been quarterbacks that we invested high draft capital in, and we had a lot of promise with these quarterbacks coming into the year, and they've underperformed. So I've got 5 quarterbacks on this list that have not been as good as we've wanted them to be so far, and I'm going to be going through each individual quarterback, talking about what we've seen from them so far, and talking about what the heck we're going to do with them going forward so we make sure that they don't cost us weeks, and better yet, make sure that they help us going forward. So I'm going to start right here with the first player on my list, and that is Lamar Jackson. Now, Lamar Jackson had 6 carries in game 1 and was 17 of 22 on his completion attempts. He had a terrible game 1 and only got you 7 fantasy points. This next week, he bounced back, carried the ball 12 times, 24 33 completions, had a much better game. And the funny thing about this is because we knew that in the offseason, the Ravens were talking about, hey, we're going to run the ball less with Lamar Jackson. We're not going to let Lamar Jackson use his legs. I knew that was BS, right? He carried the ball 12 times last game. Look, when you have a quarterback that has elite rushing abilities, he's going to run the ball. Even if you're not calling a lot of design runs for him, there's going to be times where plays break down, and he knows that he could get a first down with his legs or even take it to the house with his legs. So Lamar Jackson is going to have those games where he just carries the ball 10-plus times, even if they don't plan on doing it. So I knew that was BS coming into the season. This dude is going to give you elite rushing upside, and he has all these elite passing weapons. You look at Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham Jr., Mark Andrews. My goodness gracious, this team is absolutely loaded with stud pass catchers, and the offense is going to be very good. I don't think we have to worry about Lamar Jackson. Game 1 was terrible. Chalk it up to being week 1, whatever you want to do. I wouldn't make any moves with Lamar Jackson. I would not drop him. I would not trade him. I wouldn't even take him out of your starting lineup. I think that he's a set it and forget it starter until further notice. So as far as what to do with Lamar Jackson, just keep him plugged into your starting quarterback spot. Next player on my list is going to be DeSean Watson. Now, this guy is starting to concern me, right? He's looked really bad. You look at game 1, he carried the ball 5 times. He was 16 to 29 completions. Okay, not a very good completion percentage. This past game, 6 carries, 22 of 40 on his completions. And, he doesn't look like the elite passer that we know in DeSean Watson like he was in Houston, right? He has not been able to connect with his wide receivers on the deep ball, and this is very much because his deep ball passing has been very inaccurate. So this is a little bit concerning. But what we do know is this. He has a true elite wide receiver 1 in Amari Cooper. They seem to be developing a rapport towards the end of this last game, and Amari Cooper is someone he can get the ball to because Amari Cooper is just such a talented wide receiver, such a great route runner that he's going to get open. So even if DeSean Watson isn't passing the ball as well as we're used to seeing, Amari Cooper is going to get open, and that's going to help this offense. Now, Nick Chubb getting hurt is also going to hurt this offense, though, too, because, Nick Chubb's the best player in the offense, right? So, will the offense be as efficient without Nick Chubb? Probably not. So here's what I'm going to recommend with DeSean Watson. Going forward, I think it's okay to bench him on certain weeks if you have a quarterback that you would rather play in front of him. So guys like Jared Goff and Geno Smith that are on the waiver wire, given the right matchup, can be a better play than DeSean Watson. For now, it might not continue to be that way. I still think that DeSean Watson is going to end up being good. But for now, he's not good. He's playing poorly, and you've got Jared Goff and Geno Smith on the waiver wire who are putting up crazy passing yardage in their offense. So if you could get one of these guys off the waiver wire, don't be afraid to go ahead and play them ahead of DeSean Watson. But whatever you do, don't drop DeSean Watson, okay? Put him on your bench, replace him with Geno Smith or Jared Goff, and give him some time to develop. If it looks like we're halfway through the season and he still sucks, maybe you could consider dropping him so you don't have to waste the roster spot. But for now, if you want to, move DeSean Watson down into your bench and either play Jared Goff or Geno Smith. Next on my list is going to be Trevor Lawrence. Now, Trevor Lawrence, we look at game 1, 7 carries, 24 32 completions, 5 carries in game 2, 22 of 41 completions. He looked absolutely terrible against the Chiefs. We expected this to be a shootout, and the game just really didn't go the way we expected. It ended up being a defensive, low-scoring game. With that being said, I am not remotely concerned with the Jacksonville offense. This offense had tons of hype coming into the season. I still think they're going to be really darn good. The Chiefs are pretty good at getting after the quarterback. I mean, Chris Jones is a big difference-making player. He was giving the Jaguars fits. He was wrecking the game. The dude's a game record. That's what he does. So I think that most weeks the Jaguars are going to be able to move the ball successfully. I wouldn't worry about Trevor Lawrence. You're obviously not dropping him. I wouldn't even put him on your bench because I don't think that The two best waiver wire options in Geno Smith and Jared Goff are better options than Trevor Lawrence at this point. So as far as Trevor Lawrence, I think we're going to go ahead and keep him in our lineup going forward. But you could always get Goff or Geno Smith off the waiver wire as a depth piece in case Lawrence continues to not meet expectations. But for now, we're keeping Trevor Lawrence in our starting lineup. Next player on my list is going to be Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields, game 1, 9 carries, 16 of 29 completions. Game 2, 4 carries, 24 of 37 completions. So the completion percentage for Justin Fields has been better than DeSean Watson, but it's been right around 60%. Not great, you know. I think that Justin Fields is going to give you elite rushing upside, though. I mean, you know, he's had 13 carries through 2 games, so he's averaging 6.5 carries a game. I wouldn't be surprised if this dude averaged 8 or 9 carries a game from a season-long standpoint. He certainly has a chance to lead the NFL in rushing yards because he's just that darn good with his legs. So I think we still need to be patient with Justin Fields. Obviously, the Bears' offense has looked terrible. I mean, they've just been awful, way underperforming so far. But given Justin Fields' inherently high ceiling because of his elite rushing upside, you cannot drop this guy off your roster because if the Bears start to find their rhythm, and this is a big if the Bears start to find their rhythm and this offense becomes even just decent, I mean, Justin Fields could absolutely explode and give you tons of week-winning performances. So given the potential ceiling, we can't drop Justin Fields just yet, but I certainly wouldn't mind playing Geno Smith or Jared Goff over him given the right matchup because they're actually passing the ball efficiently in their offenses. So if you want to put Justin Fields on your bench and pick somebody up off the waiver wire that you're more confident in and play him over Justin Fields, I don't mind that move right now because the Bears offense does not look good, but don't drop Justin Fields. We got to be a little bit patient with him. Next and final player on my list is going to be Daniel Jones. Now, this is a guy, 13 carries in game 1, 9 carries in game 2, 2 carries in game 3. His completion percentage for the year is right around 63% roughly. So I don't like what I've seen from Daniel Jones. I mean, he clearly cannot produce against good defenses. I mean, they were absolutely terrible against the Cowboys. They were absolutely terrible against the 49ers. So can they exploit bad defenses? Yes, but you really don't want your starting quarterback that's starting every week to be absolutely helpless against good defenses. So I think Daniel Jones is the one quarterback I have on this list that I wouldn't just mind dropping. Some of these quarterbacks, you're going to keep starting them. Some of these quarterbacks, you might want to put them on your bench, but you don't want to drop them. You can drop Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones sucks, right? I mean, I made a video about that this offseason. Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback, right? This offense looks like an absolute mess. They can't get the ball to their best pass-catching weapon in Darren Waller. He looks like he's lost a step. None of the wide receivers are stepping up and becoming a dominant force in the offense. I hate this offense. It sucks. Daniel Jones sucks. Drop this clown and play somebody like Jared Goff or Geno Smith who's going to get you way more fantasy points. All right, guys, so those are the main quarterbacks that I wanted to address and what I want you to do with these quarterbacks going forward. So I hope this video helped. Appreciate it. Catch you later.